welcome to SVG TV's news for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. The Ministry of Transport and Works is making preparations for its comprehensive multi-million-dollar road rehabilitation program to be undertaken over the next 3 years. Speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program this morning, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works Montgomery Daniel says while they had first considered the cost of the program to be about $15 million per year over the next 3 years, further discussions are leading them to a much higher target of financing. He says over the next few weeks, the Ministry of Transport and Works, with support from BRACSA, will be conducting an assessment for the road rehabilitation program, noting that the intensity of the rains over the last few weeks have caused damage to main roads, secondary roads, and feeder roads. Minister Daniel says they have organized 3 teams to carry out the assessment on the roads with a view of giving an overall cost for the work to be undertaken over the next 3 years.
And this work is to be done within the next 2 weeks. The 3 teams, one team is responsible for the work in the North Leeward area, one team is responsible for the work in the North Windward area, and one team is responsible for the work in the central area, to the extent that each team being led by an engineer, they are going on the ground and doing the intense assessment of lengths of roads, width of roads, and the cost of these roads, so that we may come up with a final figure to the extent that we can do a lot of these roads. As I indicated, a 3-year program, we are hoping to do as much of these roads, although we are targeting a 3-year program, but at the same time to see how quick we can get them done overall.
The Transport and Work Minister says already just over 100 roads have been identified for the work program.
2-week period on the assessments are being done. Of course, Cabinet would give its final approval on the overall cost. And already we have identified a financing source. And so at the moment we are doing well. I want to indicate to you, Johnny P., that our roads would have been built many, many years ago. And we have been improving overall, yes, but the frequency of the use of the road now is much more than what it used to be yesteryear. And what is also important is that there is continuing to be the exposure of more and more surface area in all areas, resulting in more runoff water into the roads. And a lot of these roads and drains were not made to carry the quantity of water. And this is part of the problem. So that in repairing a number of these roads, these are some of the factors that would have to be taken into consideration.
While the assessment is taking place for the 3-year road rehabilitation program, which Minister Daniel is hoping to get started by December or early next year, he says in the meantime, BRACSA has contracted Dipcon Engineering to do some repair work on the main road where damage has been caused by the ongoing rainfall.
There's a series of holes that would have been exposed on the main highway, and BRACSA has already had discussions with Dipcon, that is the company that helps in terms of the asphalting of the roads, and work should commence with Dipcon doing some work on the road by next week. But of course, we also have the Triple RP program that for this year, some work have been done on some of the roads. The Triple RP program, which is the Rapid Repair Road Program, that will continue even though that we have this new road program that I'm talking about going forward in the future. But there is the construction of the secondary and feeder roads that are ongoing. This is where, of course, you know, that KDL, this company was contracted to do two phases of secondary and feeder roads in this country. And of course, they have done some of the roads. Some are still being worked on now. But of course, the pace at which KDL is working at is very much concerned to all of us. The work is really slowly at pace. We are encouraging and urging KDL to speed up on the work so that we can have the roads in a quicker time, that we can have the roads to be used.
The government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines stand in solidarity with the government and people of the Republic of Venezuela in their current crisis. Venezuela has recently been hit with floods which claimed the lives of 36 people, with 56 remaining missing. 5 small rivers in central Venezuela flooded on Sunday due to heavy rains. Prime Minister Dr. Alvin Saves, who is out of state, called into WFM's Morning Scoop program yesterday to express solidarity with Venezuela and use the opportunity to appeal to the U.S. government to remove the sanctions against Venezuela and ease some of the pressure on the people.
Quickly, we are in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Venezuela, and we are available for any help of any kind which we can provide. And it offers, in the wake of the opening with the prisoner exchanges between Venezuela and the United States of America, it offers an excellent opportunity now for the American administration, President Biden's administration, to remove the sanctions against Venezuela, including those touching on concerning the weaponizing of the dollar and the banking system, to ease the pain and the pressure on the ordinary man and woman in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. So I'm making that appeal to our American brothers and sisters, while at the same time we express our solidarity with our Venezuelan brothers and sisters.
Prime Minister Gonzalez said SVG is willing to assist Venezuela in whatever way they can.
And, if for instance, in the restoration of electricity, we need some technical people from Finland. In relation to Cuba, we had done it before, and before I left, I spoke to Dr. Vaughn Lewis, who is the acting CEO of Finland, to touch base with the Cuban ambassador, to offer that help again in the wake of the recent hurricane. And in that very week before I left, St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the cabinet approved a grant of $50,000 as a first contribution towards humanitarian relief.
Excellent.
Cuba.
Excellent.
And it's a difficult time.
It is, yes.
And we have to be our brothers and sisters.
Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus is an inspiration for every Vincentian, especially those in the creative arts and music industry. So said Prime Minister Dr. Alvin Saves, who on radio yesterday congratulated Cyrus on his recent achievement. The veteran Calypsonian was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies for his work as a soca artist and composer at the graduation ceremony of the Five Islands campus in Antigua and Barbuda on Saturday, October 8th.
Is also an inspiration for persons who have entered the musical field, or any field for that matter, that if you have a particular talent and skill, and you work at it with love and discipline, and develop it, in this case, creatively, and just do it year in, year out, day in, day out, and build it, you're going to have success. And I'm very happy for Beckett personally and his family, for his community, and of course for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a signal honor. And when a university awards an honorary doctorate to someone, it is an special recognition.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely agree.
At our own university. I'm very, very pleased with that.
Prime Minister Gonzalez said that he is happy that there are some young people in SVG following in the footsteps of Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus and Dr. Cecil Cyrus.
You notice the number of young people who are involved in, for instance, creative writing. We know about Blazer, and we know about other persons of Blazer's generation, and we know Peggy Carr, in her poetry, who is younger than Blazer. But then there are two young women who have published poetry recently. Marcella Dublin from Diamond and Senna Lewis from Barley. It's a wonderful outpouring, and there's more and more taking place, and we are seeing it in music. The number of young artists. There are, of course, young men who are experienced, like Fireman, Skinny, and then they done those younger still, and then a whole generation of them have gone into since 2001 to schools all over the world, including and especially the Edna Manley School in Jamaica for music and art and dance. I saw the story of a young Vincent who exercised leadership as a student at that school and is now a member of the National Dance Theatre Company, doing very creative work himself. That famous company in Jamaica.
Yes.
And then there's Rodney Small and Darren Andrews and young Matisse and others.
The World Pediatric Project, the WPP, continues to develop long-term solutions to pediatric healthcare needs in SVG and the region, and to ensure that no child is left behind. Later this week, a urology team is expected on island to carry out clinics at the Milton Keto Memorial Hospital from October 15th to the 22nd. Last week, the WPP hosted a general orthopedics clinic, which was one of its biggest missions for the year, attracting a total of 68 patients from 23 of them came from neighboring countries in the region, including Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Grenada, Dominica, and Antigua. The 15-member contingent of highly qualified medical personnel ended their work on October 8th with surgery and aftercare at the Milton Keto Hospital. The general orthopedic mission focused on the lower extremities of the body with administration of specialist diagnostic care in both the general orthopedics and clubfoot specialty. The WPP says it remains committed to their mission of building a brighter future for the children and continues to reach families and transform lives with the support of funding sponsors. It says through efficient use of funds and strong relationships with partner organizations, the donations are multiplied 5 times in deployed pediatric specialty care resources. Thus far, over 3,000 children have received specialized pediatric care in St. Vincent alone. A festival which aims at fostering cultural exchanges between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Republic of China and Taiwan will be held here tomorrow. The Spotlight Taiwan Haruna Formosa Creative Arts Festival will commence at 6 p.m. at the Russell's Auditorium. Coordinator of the festival, Maxine Brown, is inviting the general public to come out and enjoy the activities with the Embassy of the Republic of China and Taiwan and the Ministry of Culture.
6 p.m. In fact, the craft exhibition starts at 5, but the grand production, performing arts-wise, begins at 6 p.m. at the Russell's Auditorium. I want to encourage all Vincentians to come out and witness this grand showcase of excellence where we feature film, fashion, craft, music and dance. In this project dubbed Spotlight Taiwan, the Haruna Formosa Creative Arts Festival. This is the culminating activity we have been working for months preparing, and now it's time to do the grand showcase. I must thank the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan for investing $30,000 to enable this project. And so, come out and let's have fun together. It will be a grand evening. All areas of performing arts, specifically music, dance, fashion, this craft, and this film. So, this is our give back. This is Taiwan's give back to us during our Independence Month, during their National Day. Spotlight Taiwan is on. You've just got to be there.
The festival forms part of Taiwan's National Day celebrations observed on October 10th. Brown said the Haruna Formosa Creative Arts Festival helps to promote and cultivate a greater interest and appreciation of Taiwan's culture in the international community, and it is open and free of cost to the public.
The objective of this festival is to basically promote Taiwan's culture in SVG while we simultaneously foster cultural exchanges. And so, again, I thank the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan for the investment, $30,000 to facilitate and enable this project. And we want you to come out and have fun. The show is free. Bring your friend and family, bring friends and family, and let's have fun together. This is our Independence Month. We share all our gifts with you.
Meanwhile, the government of the Republic of China and Taiwan is again partnering with Invest SVG for the hosting of the Everything Vinci Expo 2022. On Monday, October 3rd, Taiwan's ambassador to SVG, His Excellency Peter Shiley Lam, presented a check of US $40,000 to the Executive Director of Invest SVG, Annette Mark, to assist with the hosting of the Expo. The government of the Republic of China and Taiwan has been supporting the Expo since 2018. The Everything Vinci Expo 2022 will be held from October 24th to the 28th at the Geese Cargo Terminal and will be open to the public from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. 120 exhibitors are expected to participate in this year's Expo. One of the primary objectives of the Expo is to ascertain new entrants into the Vincentian market and to determine what other levels of assistance are required to support Vincentian innovators and entrepreneurs to bring them to export readiness. It is anticipated that attendance at the Expo will provide the exhibitors with product development opportunities as well as the transformational growth required to derive further impetus. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will join countries around the world on Sunday, October 16th in observing World Food Day. World Food Day is celebrated annually on October 16th, the date that the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, the FAO, was founded in 1945. World Food Day aims to promote healthy diets and eradicate hunger issues by 2030. Activities to commence the celebration of World Food Day will commence on Friday, October 14th. Given an overview of this year's activities, Chairman of the 2022 Food Day Committee, Kamaro Brown, said the activities will be held under the theme, Leave No One Behind.
This year's theme, Leave No One Behind, is a critical theme. It encompasses all aspects of agricultural production, where we focus from the planting all the way to consumption. Now, this year's activity, we're doing it somewhat differently. This year, we're planning to go to the Park Hill playing field to have an exhibition and a ceremony. So the ministry is currently embarking on a decentralization of a number of its activities. We're accustomed to the World Food Day being taking place here in Kingston, the capital city. But we saw it prudent that we need to engage our farmers, which are our primary producers. This year's activity is slated for Friday the 14th of October, and it takes place at the Park Hill playing field. World Food Day is actually on the 16th of October, but given that it's a Sunday, we prefer to have these activities on weekdays where we can have more persons participating. We're inviting the general public to participate and patronize in our activity this Friday at the Park Hill playing field. It commences at 10 and everyone is welcome.